Hey everyone, and welcome to the club, and welcome to another weekend sketch tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Princess Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So for this lesson I'm going to be using a 2B pencil. Now I'm using this because it's got a soft tip and it leaves a little bit of a darker impression on my paper. So I'm going to start with the side grip of my pencil. I'm not using a standard grip like this because I don't want to have hard lines on my paper. This will allow me to get a soft sort of touch to my paper. Also putting my index finger on the lead, it's also going to let me control the pencil as I move this around. So I'm going to start with the center of the head with a circle. So starting from the top, I'm just going to lightly work my way around and just draw in a circle. Now you can do some choppy lines. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. You just go back and overdraw until you get something that looks like a circle. Now this is just to indicate the skull of the character. And I can always go back in and erase this out a little bit later on. So once I have my circle, I want to determine the angle of my head. So from here, the face is actually facing forward this way, but I'm going to turn the head over towards the right. So the center line is going to be over on the right side here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a curve. Actually, you can start with a straight line first, just to indicate the edge of the face. And I'm just going to curve this, curving this around, just towards that line, towards the chin. Now this is showing me that the face is actually going towards the right this way. So the center line is here. I'm going to divide the center line with the eyes on the left and on the right. From these sides, I just want to draw in just the lower part of the chin. Now this is just to help me sort of gauge where and how big my drawing is going to be. So just like this, just curving in towards the center point of the chin. Now I want to draw in the angled line for the eyes. So I'm going to angle the lines like this way. So going across a little bit higher on the left so that the head is tilted this way. So this is my eye line. I'm going to try to line up the eyes on top of this eye line here. Now the starting point of my drawing is just about blocking things in, just trying to get the composition first. So over here in the center, I'm going to draw in a little oval just to indicate my left eye. And then one on the right. I'm going to draw a little dash along the center line here, right about here for the nose, and then just below it for the mouth. The neck is going to fall straight down this way. So just on the inside edge of the jaw, draw a straight line coming down, and then just right of the chin, I'm going to draw a little half circle, a little curve for the neckline, and then the shoulders. The shoulders are going to sweep out actually, going out this way. And then for the hair sort of sweeps in from the center. So I'm going to start up here, drawing a curve, and I can always adjust these lines a little bit later. So I'm just going to draw two curves coming up from the center. I'm going to swoop it around on the side here. This is going to curl around. So around the head and towards the side. Same thing on the right side. It's going to curl around and then swoop back up. I'm going to extend the skull a little bit higher on the top, and then up here we're going to locate the bun. So just drawing a little oval up here. Just down here the hair comes down, swoops around the neck, and draw the back side of it over here. And now you can always step back and just take a look at your composition, make sure that things are balanced out the way that you want it before you start adding too much detail. And right here I'm going to probably locate the earring right in there. And the hair will swoop around back as well. So now that I have my building blocks, I can start going in and just start layering in some of the minor details. I'm going to go in with my regular grip now, still using my 2B pencil. I'm going to start with the main eye, the one in the front here. So I'm going to start with the curve at the top of the eye. Now that I have a little guideline here, I'm going to start at the very top, and just sketch across, a little curve, and then come down on the inside. I'm going to work the lower part of the lid, so going back up to the top and just curving the bottom part of the eye, across like this. Now the pupil and the iris in the center is going to get tucked in underneath the eyelid a little. So I just want to draw a circle, just a nice sized circle tucked in along the top. And I'm just going to thicken up the top just a little for the eyelash. And then above the eye, she's got a little double eyelid, so I'm just going to draw another curve up top. And on top of that, I'm just going to locate the eyebrow. Just a little line like this. It can be very faint. We're going to move over towards the right side and draw on this eye. So this curve, or this line of the eye line, going over this way, the eye's going to get compressed over on the right side. So I'm going to line up the inside of the eye, draw a curve going out, and then along the bottom. So I just want to draw a little bit of an overlap here, like that. Now we're going to tuck the iris in underneath the eyelid, just on the inside edge. And then right up here, she's got another double eyelid. Curve up here, and then the eyebrow just above it. Like that. Now I've indicated that the nose is just down here, so I'm going to adjust this as I go. So right here, I'm I'm going to draw the nose bridge coming across in the inside of the eye. I'm going to come down in the opposite direction. Curving down. I'm going to round out the tip. Draw a little nostril here. The side of the nose. That looks just about right. And then below here, just below the nose, I'm going to draw a little point. This is for the top part of the lip. Go up, around the top of the lip. I want to make sure that this is sort of somewhat straight. I don't want to draw the mouth crooked like that. So curve around towards the bottom. And it's always about just going in and building your blocks. So just starting off very faint and then just adjusting where you need to. So the inside part of the mouth, I'm just going to draw a little curve like that. And then the lower part of the lip, draw a little smile line on the end there, a little curve on the edge of the mouth. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy with the composition of the face. I'm going to go to the outside, just draw the profile edge of the forehead, coming around to right there. I'm going to have to adjust the cheeks. So she's got some deep cheeks. It goes out, comes in towards the mouth, down towards the chin. I can always adjust this a little bit more. Chin would be right about there. And I'm going to the outside. Draw the chin line going across. Like that. Over here, I'm going to locate the earring. Draw it just where we left it. Now, I'm going to go back to the top in the center here. I'm going to move this over just a little because the center line is actually shifted over this way a bit more. I'm going to start drawing that curve. Curve it along just above the ears. Now there's some folds on the side here, like wrap around the head. I'm going to go back in and adjust that. Coming across, there's some folds up here as well. Just overlapping these lines across one another. That. On this side we'll go in the opposite direction. Around the side of the head. Here, so it's overlapping. Some more hairs like that. Okay, going back to the side, I'm going to draw the ear tucked in, a little bit of hair peeking out just underneath that hairbang. And then with the neck, I drew two straight lines. I'm going to give it some curvature. I'm going to curve over towards the left. I'm going to curve this one over towards the right. Overlap the shoulder right here. And I don't want to go too wide with the shoulders. I'm going to round it out just about there. And then with the hair that comes down, curve it around like that, and the hair bangs will come down this, a nice big ponytail. You see I'm just adding some curves just to accentuate the flow of the hair. Under here it's going to go in behind as well. Just layer this in behind like that. Up on top, the top of the head. I'm just going to accentuate that and draw a little overlap here as well. Across, and then a little hair band. On top, another curve that goes up on top, and then with the bun we're going to start it back up a little bit further, going around like that, just drawing some more overlaps and pulling the hair up just like that. Okay, and you can always go back and just overdraw or go back with an eraser and just knock out some of the lines that you don't want. Now as I get further into my drawing and I start adding a little bit more pressure on my pencil, I'm going to want to use a little scrap piece of paper to cover the areas so I don't get any smudging. So I'm going to use this. Going back over the eye, I'm just going to add some more detail. So just darkening up the lines and the edges that I feel more confident about. So along the upper eyelid, and darken that up to give her some eyelash. Coming down the front, and then along the bottom, and darken the corners up a little bit. Just blend it out. Let's add some eyelashes here. Just going to pull some curves up. Feather them out. You could always use the side of your pencil as well if you want to add a little bit of gradual blending. Just go in like this. Just adding some more lashes like that. And then the upper eyelid, I'm going to darken that up as well. Add a little bit of shading on the inside. Now for the pupil and the iris, I'm going to go back in on the outer perimeter first. Darken it up along the top. And on the top here, I'm just going to add a little tiny faint circle for a highlight. And then in the middle of the iris, I'm going to just draw a smaller circle for the pupil. Just defining the edges and then coloring that in black. going to also go in around the perimeter of the iris and just shade it in just a little bit darker, just to make the eyes pop. And along the top, maybe I'll go a little bit darker for a little shadow cast down from the eyelid. Top of the eye. And now for the eyebrow, I'm just going to go in again, just define the eyebrow a little bit further. Just thickening that up on the inside edge. Rounding up the inside. I'm pretty happy with where that's sitting now, so let's go over to the right side. Now this eye, I have it a little bit droopy. It's coming down just a little bit too much. So I'm going to start on the inside and just raise it up a little on the inside edge. And flick out the ends and just darken that up. Go along the bottom. Let it feather out as I come in towards the inside of the eye. And then again, going in to find the edge of the iris. We're going to add a little highlight, a very faint highlight circle. Top edge. And we'll add in the pupil, just on the inside. Color that in dark. And then again, just shading in the iris, starting off a little bit darker along the top to cast some shadow along the eye. And going up and just defining that double eyelid. I'm going to go in and just define the eyebrow a bit further. So up here, I'm just going to curve it out, thickening up the inside edge, and just tapering it on the outside. I'm going to come down the profile of the nose, rounding it out on the inside a little bit. Now that I have the eyes, go ahead and define in the nose. So right here, it's always important to make sure you adjust these lines at the early stages. We're not waiting until you get to the final stage of detailing, because then you don't want to have to adjust too much at the end. So getting the nose in there, the nostril, draw a little curve on the end. Edge of the nose. I'm going to go in with the light side of my pencil, just shading the bottom edge of the nose. A little bit of shadow. I'll add a little bit of shadow on the inside edge of the eye as well. Just blending it out, so it's a little bit darker next to the nose here. Do the same thing on the eye here. So starting off light underneath the eyebrow, just working our way in. I'm going to go back and just find the inside bottom part of the eye a little bit further. Just going across like that. Okay, so let's move down and continue on with the mouth. So right here, the shape of the mouth is pretty good, so I'm going to go in. Start with the top part. Curving out to the outside of the mouth. I'm going to shade the top lip a little bit darker than the skin to indicate the lipstick color. Add a little wrinkle on the side of the mouth. And going down, drawing on the bottom of the edge of the mouth. Going and just shading that as well. Go a little bit lighter as I get towards the bottom of the lip, just to catch a little bit of the light. Darken the bottom of the lip a little bit further. Just cleaning that up. Okay, so now that I got the face where I want it, I'm going to go in and start moving around some lines for the hair. So up here, I'm just going to start on the edge, like this line right here, this little curve. I'm going to round up the inside of the widow's peak and just go out towards the right. Continue layering the hair in behind. Going along here. Let's go to the side of the head. Just defining this line. Just in towards the eye. I'll pull up the cheek. Now this is where I can sort of take a look, make sure that the cheeks aren't too low or too high. And I kind of like it a little bit higher. So I'm just going to overdraw on top of the lines that I have. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the chin. Let's cover up that face a bit. Add a little bit of detail to this earring. I'm going to add a little highlight on the top. So drawing a little circle, a very faint circle, and just shading around it. And then just shade the bottom area in a little bit darker just to give a little bit of shadow near the bottom. And then continuing with the hair. Ear, the side, right. Just continue layering the hair. Here you can continue on with the side of your pencil if you like. If you want to just keep it a little bit looser, going in with just a regular grip pencil. It gets a little bit tedious, especially with larger areas. Going like that. I'm going to put a little bit of shading on the side here. Shade the side of the hair, and then just blend it up around that turn. Same thing underneath this part here. Shade the underside of the hair out. Same with the bottom of the hair here. Now our hair is quite dark, so it's okay to continue the shading all across the hair, making sure you leave a little bit of room for some highlights. Across like that. Bottom side here. Working from the widow's peak, working outwards. There's a lot of shadow cast in the center of the hair, and then going to the outside perimeter. Starting a little bit darker, and shading upwards. Overlap this here, a little bit darker on the side, that hair across. Now I'm going to go in with a regular grip, just to find that edge a little bit further. Just blending it out as I go around. I'm just going to curl the hair around that corner there. Let's go into the headband. And shade the hairband as well. On the side it goes dark, goes to a lighter shade in the middle. We'll go in just to find the top as well. A little bit darker here. Going back in with a regular grip. You can continue to detail this out as much as you like. I'm just doing a rough pass of the lines right now. Go in with another type of pencil to clean up the lines. On the side here. Fold. So we got the head. Let's go back towards the neck. Define the back of the neck. And the front. Define this curve. Here. I'm not too worried about all these straight lines that I have sitting around, because I can always erase them out, or I can go into a different pencil and just define the edges more, which will make the other lines sort of recede backwards. So here, let's add a little shading to the bottom of the neck. So using a regular grip or side grip, go underneath the neck. Tapering out, a little gradient on the back of the hair as well. Shading bottom working upwards. Some darker tips. Shading across like that as well. Just working with the curvature of the hair. Go back. Find that edge a little bit further. Side of the hair. Add a little bit of a drop shadow from the hair on towards the face. I'm going to round out the face on the jaw and the cheek. So right here we'll go a little bit darker along the bottom edge and just blend it out as we go up. Just helps create a little bit of curvature to the face. On the outside as well. On the forehead, a little bit of drop shadow here. And the final step, I can go in with a darker pencil and just define the edges, which will make all the details pop out. Right here I have a black Prismacolor pencil crayon. This is quite dark, so I'm just going to go in and just touch up the areas that I really want to punch out. So let's start with the eyes. That's pretty much it. There's Princess Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and send us your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.